So I think most of this actually will be useful for the YouTube recording, which will then hopefully get, I'll make sure I relink the updated office hours link to the thing. But here is our updates and stuff for the new year. So this is going to be our high level product roadmap for 2025 for the first 4 quarters planned out for features that we want to build out for each quarter. So Q1, we're going to focus on live chat, which is now in beta, and we're going to have a demo of that in a little bit. Vision, which is also in beta, which allows users to upload images and have the chatbot render images, which I'll show a demo in a minute. And then Master Chat, which is going to be essentially like a custom GPT style, chat GPT style interface that you can create internal AI agents rather than the current external facing customer support related AI agents. So this will be a very useful, Master Chat will be a very useful feature for agencies who want to sell AI agents that can do more internal focused work, like comment on sales strategies, generate ad copy, write emails, things like that. And it will all be built inside of a ChatGPT style interface, which will be cool because that will then be, you'll be able to customize that interface as well. We're also going to be adding new LLM models. OpenAI went down a few too many times, and we're going to now offer a backup model, which essentially allows you to set a setting that will auto transfer over the bots from using OpenAI to something like Grok or Claude when OpenAI goes down. And it'll just be a seamless integration across the board. So that way, agencies and customers will not have to worry about that or not even know or realize that that change has been made. Analytics dashboards, we're going to be adding a ton of graphs and more kind of like quote unquote sexy stuff for customers to look at, which will also help inform agency owners of who is more profitable and customers retention and all these other SaaS metrics that are useful for. And then API endpoints, another thing that people have been asking for. This will help with users who want to use other payment platforms or do other complicated use cases for sending data to and from the platform. I guess so. Live chat is essentially almost done. And the way that that is going to look is conversations is going to be combined into a new tab called inbox. So once this is complete, there is going to be one new tab called inbox that will contain all of the conversations. And inside each conversation, you'll be able to see all the filters and everything that you would normally see inside conversations, except now you have the ability to hand off the conversation to a human, at which point that human can start chatting in the interface with a user on the other end. And this will work even through things like Facebook and Instagram. So, for example, if we have a human handed off conversation, we can see that a user is chatting with the same AI conversation as they would, but instead of the AI responding, it's now the person responding inside the Stammer dashboard, which is now showing back up as the response to the user, to the end user. So this is going to be super useful for extended workflows that are based on top of the existing human handoff and keyword triggers, which are all going to be consolidated and cleaned up inside of this one tab called Inbox. And that's going to allow for your end customers to have conversations with human agents when and if the customer wants that to happen. It's been a highly requested feature for quite a while, so super stoked to get this one out, especially with it being available on all of the integrations and options for where conversations can happen. That will be out in beta to all full SaaS mode users first, and then it will get rolled out to agency users as well. And then Vision, any questions on that, Lucas?
No, no, it looks really good, really good.
Awesome. And then, so Vision, there's kind of two sides of Vision. The first side is having the chatbot be able to render images in the chat. And this is something that has been a highly upvoted item in the public roadmap, ability to show pictures or add product images. And this is now fully possible. And we're going to be improving the bot and the knowledge base system to also further improve this. So as of today, right now, this is a live feature. The AI agent inside the chat widget specifically can render HTML. So what does that mean? Well, what we can do is we can now add in URLs of images or even YouTube videos, and we can then tell the AI agent when they come across a image URL, they should render the image with HTML inside the chat widget. So for example, if I have some information in here about my products that we have scraped using the website scraper, this is information about our merch. I've also added in images, URLs of images. So if we look at the data that was scraped from the Stammer logo beanie, we can see that there's not too much info here that was scraped. There is no image URL. And this is going to be one of the updates that we add to the scraper in the coming days, where it will be able to scrape these URL images instead of me having to put them in manually like so. But the whole point of this is to illustrate that the functionality is there, and we're going to be improving the platform to help users reach that functionality easier and faster. So there's two places inside the knowledge base that are mentioning the logo beanie. So if I say, tell me about the logo beanie, it should pull the information that it has access to from both sources and then render the image inside the chat like so, because it's pulling the image URL and then it's rendering the image inside this chat response. This will be a really cool feature for e-commerce stores or anybody that's trying to include product imagery or any imagery in the responses. And the cool thing is this also works for video embeds. So what about the last office hours? And this should render it like that as a video. And this is like a playable video. So that's a pretty cool feature. I've been testing this out with some other things like interactive calculators and things like that. And there tends to be some limitations. So I'm working up a whole document on how this works and how you can replicate this. But essentially it's as easy as just giving it some URLs and some files with some sort of reference text so that the AI agent knows that this image is of this product, and then being able to tell the AI agent via the system prompt that you want to render the image inside the chat widget like so. The other side of vision is being able to upload images to the AI agent, and then the AI agent knows what is in the image. So for example, I could upload this image of the beanie and then it says, oh, this is the Stammer logo beanie, blah, blah, blah. Here's all the information I have about it. That is in progress and will be out this quarter. And then looking ahead to quarter two, we're going to be implementing our voice for AI phone calls. We're going to be working on the inbound side first. Then we'll be working on the outside or the outbound. And this is to ensure that we maintain and follow all laws and regulations regarding, because that is definitely something that could be dicey. So we're making sure we take the proper steps with that. We're also going to be improving the overall like customization and look and feel of the platform to have a more polished design. I know a lot of people have mentioned this in the past, that it feels like the platform is very engineered, and that's very intentional. So we can make quick changes and updates and improve the functionality. We're now going to focus on the look of things as the functionality becomes more robust. We're also going to be actively including and looking at our public roadmap items. So like I showed before, these are some of the top voted items, 20, 24, 21 upvotes for these features. These are going to be some of the things that we start to take into more account as we finish up some of the larger features that we've been wanting to tackle. So this is going to make sure that we keep our feature set growing. And if anybody watching this has ideas or features or basically anything that you think that could make the platform better, or features that you'd like to sell to others, please feel free to go to roadmap.stammer.ai and add it there for free and upvote other ones that you'd like to see, and we'll keep working on them. Q3 is going to be a heavy focus on integrations as we start to look towards integrating with some of these things that are currently custom functions. So custom functions has been a really cool way for people to create their own white label integrations with other third-party applications. The big example that I always like to showcase or mention is the Shopify custom function example. Instead of having a custom function for Shopify, we'll be creating our own integration or app with Shopify, similarly to how we did with Zapier. And that will make it easier for people to create these custom functions with these third party apps to offer further complicated AI actions for their agents and their customers. And of course, the public roadmap items. Q4 is going to be interesting because we're fully expecting to see some wild releases and new AI technology throughout this year. So we're kind of keeping our Q4 a little bit open just to that we have enough bandwidth to mark up or work on anything that might be new that's coming down the pipeline for some of these other companies like OpenAI and Anthropic and Grok and all these things. So we're really going to be focusing on platform maintenance and improving the overall look and feel, along with exploring some new things like workflow automations, which again could help improve the custom functions or AI agents and their corresponding actions. Tim, anything you like to add to that?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered it all. Super excited for Q1, Q2, and the rest of the quarters.
Awesome. Drew, anything on your end?
All good over here. If anybody does have any comments or feedback, feel free to shoot a message in the Discord or the comments or wherever, and we can, make it make sense.
Awesome. Yeah, and we're definitely going to encourage people to utilize the public roadmap. It's interesting because there's a lot of items that we cleaned up on here recently that were already completed within the platform. People just were unsure of where that feature was. So that's definitely going to be something that we also improve, is helping people understand where certain features are within the platform and improve documentation within the app, which should help with adoption and a bunch of different things. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of updates. Lucas, do you have any questions or thoughts?
No, I wouldn't say I have any questions yet. I mean, I haven't really started. My brain hasn't really started working throughout the holiday season and so on. But so I can't say I put in much work, unfortunately. But the vision looks really incredible. I haven't really thought about that feature, although I obviously heard that it's been requested a lot. But just seeing this, a lot of excitement for some talks I might have already. And yeah, it makes it a lot more official looking, if you don't mind me using that. Yeah, it looks pretty sick. Yeah, there's a lot of use for that for sure. And yeah, further down the line, it's gonna be epic as always.
Yeah, I think for your use case, Master Chat was going to be a very useful update and feature. We're very excited to utilize this ourselves internally, which I think will only help our own marketing. But I think
Yeah,
this is something that our agencies are going to see as well.
yep,
Agencies will be able to make the things that they use and then resell to others, where that might be a little bit more difficult as it stands right now, where you have to convince a business to use something where versus them already using that same thing in the
yep,
form of like a custom GPT.
yeah.
So yeah, very excited to get some of these features out and get everybody's feedback. So
You guys are doing an incredible job. It's so cool to see this journey. It's absolutely incredible.
thank you. Yeah, it's I'm stoked that you're still around.
Yeah, I hope I will be for a long time.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, you've seen it all pretty much.
Yeah, I'd like to think that. Yeah, yeah. I've had my first call with Drew. Yeah, summer two, I guess. 23, right?
23. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
March will be our two year anniversary, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty,
that really is.
pretty.
We beat that stat or whatever. Was it
Yeah,
like
oh, business failing within X.
exactly? Yeah, like some high number of businesses fail in the first year or something. We're still around and thriving, growing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week, and I'll make sure to post the new link so everyone can register for next week's office hours, and we'll have some more live updates and fun stuff to share in that meeting.
All right, looking forward as always.
Right on. We'll hope everyone has a great rest
Alrighty.
of the week, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Have a good
Talk to
one,
y'all
guys.
later.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.